Hi, and welcome to Senior Seminar, the first of a two-part series. This one is called My Roadmap to College. I am Stephanie-Colon. I am the College and Career Specialist, Land O'Lakes High School. Been here for 10 years, and I am one part of the Student Services team that is here to support your senior throughout this school year as they're moving toward high school graduation and beyond. Mrs. Pinsky is the 12th grade school counselor, and Mrs. Baker is the IB school counselor. Mr. Batchelor is our 12th grade assistant principal, and Mr. Yarkey is the IB assistant principal. We are all here to help you and your student understand and move toward that goal of applying to college. So before we get started, I like to do a check-in, and during the regular presentation, I wanted you to kind of think about where you are. Are you a 1 up to a 5? So if you are 1, you would say that I'm cool and calm. I'm ready to tackle this. Up to a 5, clueless and freaking out. During the regular presentation, it was a nice little mix. Some 4s and 5s, some 2s and 3s, had very few as a 1. And if you're not a 1, that's okay. Maybe you'll be closer to that 1 by the end of the presentation. What we're going to cover through this seminar is the university and community college and state college options within the state of Florida. I try to focus mostly on those in-state community colleges and universities, just because most of our students do end up staying in-state for college. Looking at the different application and admissions timelines and processes for each of those community college or university options. Going over a little bit of the timeline for the senior year. And reminder, I'm doing the senior seminar number 2. It's Financial Aid 101. It's going to be on September 28th at 6:30. I will be doing that also in person and streaming it via Zoom. And of course, there was time for Q&A. And for people that participated live or via Zoom on the actual day that the Roadmap to College seminar was held last week, they were able to submit Q&A or questions, and I compiled a frequently asked questions list, which I'll also post along with this link to view the video. So before we get started and jump into the university and community college and those applications, before we even start an application to college, there's things that we need to do, but first. So really, really important to organize your options. So if we're talking about applying to university as the main goal, I usually recommend at least 4 of those university applications to be submitted. So figure out a way that works for you to keep yourself organized. I've had students do color-coded spreadsheets. I've had a 3-ring binder with tabs. I've had students just do old school with a composition notebook, and each college or university has its own page. This is because if you're applying to 4 universities, you are going to have 4 different usernames and passwords in order to access your application portal on each of those university websites. You're going to have different deadlines. You're going to maybe send things at different times. One university may want your self-reported academic record called the SSAR, or a different university may want your official high school transcript sent directly from us. So being able to track and manage what has been sent or requested, dates, deadlines, that's going to be really important. Most of these colleges do have priority deadlines, and some are very, very important to stick to. If you don't apply by their priority deadline, you may not have a really good chance of being accepted. So that's really important. Just figure out how you're going to manage and organize your options. The other thing I recommend is to work to try to get a good essay put together, one that you're really confident with. Most college essay prompts and scholarship application essay prompts are very similar. They have a very similar thread or theme. So if you can get just maybe an outline or a topic or things like that identified and put together, it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. There's a great channel on YouTube called The College Essay Guy, real creative, very easy to remember, that gives some really, really great pointers as far as topics to avoid, pitfalls to avoid, some examples of topics or things that you can focus on, how to really grab the attention of the reader, how to set yourself apart from all of the other applicants and essays that a recruiter will be reviewing. And then there's another website, Johns Hopkins University publishes essays that worked. So students that had applied and been accepted into Johns Hopkins University, and it's voted on and then selected to be published, those essays that worked. It just, again, gives you an idea about how to set yourself apart, how to grab a reader's attention, and maybe some topics. Maybe could just give you a little bit of inspiration. I encourage you to get a copy of your academic history. So a condensed version of your transcript. Myself or the school counselors can print this out for your student. And it just gives the course history, grades for each class, GPA, both the weighted and unweighted, class rank. It just gives all of that information so that when a student sits down to enter in those courses and grades, whether it be through that SSAR or into the common application, then there's going to be no issues or discrepancies. You're going to make sure that you are entering accurate information. That's really important. It's helpful for you to create an academic resume. So get a list organized of your activities, honors, awards, honor roll, different athletic awards, academic awards. Many colleges do have that as part of their application process. So if you have it all gathered together in one location, it's going to speed up your application submission. And then, of course, be confident with your plan A, B, C, and D. So if we're talking about 4 universities to apply to, you should have that reach school, which is maybe your plan A. Plan B and C might be those kind of in the middle. You're somewhat confident, but still a little competitive. And then that plan D, that backup plan, whatever that is for you. And you should be confident with that and know that no matter whatever happens, you have your backup plan identified and you're happy with whatever that would be. Okay, so let's dive into the university. So there are 12 public universities within the state of Florida. They call that the state university system. I have a state university system matrix that I will have a link posted on my website as well. It's brand new information that shows the data, specific information about who applied last year and got accepted and started college this year. So it gives those averages of GPA, test scores, priority deadline dates, and things like that. So the university is where students will attend and earn those bachelor's degree, what they call the 4-year degree, approximately 120 credits in order to earn that bachelor's degree. That can fluctuate a little bit depending on the major and the college. There are 3 different application options that would be available. Not all colleges offer all 3. Some offer 1, some offer all 3. But you would have the option of an institutional application, the common application, or the coalition application. So an institutional application is just that. You can go on to USF's website and apply specifically to USF using their college application. But USF also offers what's called the common application. So the common application is participating colleges and universities across the nation can choose to participate with the common app. So the common application, a student will create their account, enter in the majority of their information, then select the schools that they want to apply to. And then the common application sends it to all of those selected schools on their behalf. And then the third option is the coalition application. This seems to be less popular or less common this year, but it is very similar to the common application where you enter things once onto this coalition app and then send it out on your behalf. So UF as an example, UF offers the common application and coalition application. USF offers an institutional application and the common application. So really it is up to you, but you only select one way to apply. So if you are applying to 4 universities and 3 out of the 4 use common app and 1 only has the institutional, then it makes sense to use the common app for 3, right? But if you are applying to 4 schools and only 1 does common app, then it may not make sense necessarily to use the common application for only 1 college. But really important to know that you only select one application in order to apply. So just because USF offers the institutional app and the common application, you really would only pick one. They don't need multiple applications for you. So it's important to know when to apply. Different colleges have different priority deadlines. So and make sure that you're understanding what early decision, early action, and regular decisions are. Early decision is a binding agreement. So you apply by a certain date. You are, if they offer an acceptance, then you are bound to attend there. You actually have to withdraw all of your other applications that are out there, and then you really are agreeing to attend there no matter what. Most of the time, students are not applying through early decision, especially at the universities here in Florida. I think only one offers early decision as an option. Early action really just means that you're applying early, and then you will receive your notification in an earlier date. So that tends to be better for students. It is not a binding agreement. It just means, hey, I'm going to submit my stuff early and then get my answer back. I like to give a deadline date of November 1st, generally for especially those in-state universities. And that means that you have to have everything submitted that they are requesting to complete your application file by that November 1st deadline. And then admission notifications can be different. Rolling admissions means that they get applications and they make these decisions on an ongoing basis. And then a specific date means they would announce or notify you on a certain date at a certain time and not a minute before. So example, USF is rolling admissions. So they started accepting applications back into July. They will start notifying students of their acceptances in mid-November, and then it's ongoing from there on. But UF will accept applications up until about November 1st. That's their priority deadline date. They'll accept it afterwards, but your chances of getting in are very slim. So you have to apply by November 1st, and they will let you know on February 25th, I believe, at 6 p.m. So that you won't know before then. That's when they announce those decisions. So it's helpful to understand and know those admission notifications, because you may want to apply earlier for some of those rolling admissions colleges, because you then may know earlier what the decision is going to be. And the chances of being accepted are better the earlier date with rolling admission colleges versus UF that has those specific announcement dates. If you apply, it doesn't matter if you apply August 1st or November 1st, you're all grouped into the same category as applying earlier by that priority deadline. You don't get a benefit necessarily of more consideration if you apply before November 1st, just as long as it's all done by that November 1st deadline. So this is a QR code. Again, I'll have that posted online on my website that will link you directly to the State University System Matrix. I also have actual handouts here in the College and Career Lab on campus for students that may want to swing by and get a paper copy. I'm happy to have those provided for students. So here's just a really quick 4 state universities at a glance. I just chose the 4 universities that are the closest to us. So we have the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida Gulf Coast University in Fort Myers, University of South Florida in Tampa, and University of Central Florida in Orlando. So looking at the total enrollment, this includes all students from undergraduate, graduate, doctorate level on up. So you can see the state of Florida does have some pretty large universities, but this is an important piece of the puzzle, right? So if your student is still trying to decide where they may want to tour or attend, one of the things I ask them is, do you want to have a large university with lots of maybe social activities or large classes? Or do you want more of a smaller, more intimate environment? Well, then this total enrollment should play a part. If your student says, I want a smaller university, I don't want it to be too big, then we're not going to be really looking at University of Central Florida. UCF is the largest university in the nation by enrollment. Total enrollment is almost 72,000 students. I may then point them in the direction of considering or looking into Florida Gulf Coast. FGCU has about 15,000 students, so much smaller environment, much smaller class sizes. They're not going to necessarily have 300 students in their biology class. They might have maybe 50. It's going to be a very different learning environment, at least in the beginning parts of their college career. State of Florida did not go test optional, so it is still required by the public universities that students submit an SAT or ACT score with their application in order to be considered complete. So a super score process is where they look at the subtests of the exam across test dates. So if a student tests more than once, they will look across those test dates at each of the subtests to pick the highest subscore to create a new, usually higher average. And all colleges in the state university system do that super score process for both the SAT and the ACT. So usually it is very much in the student's best interest to take an SAT or ACT more than one time. And this goes, the next one is about how to apply. So this shows the different online application options for each of the colleges. Again, you're going to want to look across. If you were applying to all 4 of these universities, all 4 do accept the Common App. It just makes sense to do the common application for all 4 rather than FGCU's online, USF's online, and UCF's online application, because you're entering basically the same information 4 times rather than just once through the common application. You'll see that most of the priority deadlines will show a November 1st date. USF and UCF did say 12/1. So if you're worried about managing your time or you're trying to prioritize, then definitely do the ones that have that earlier priority deadline first, followed by the one later. But again, I like to give that deadline of 11/1, and you'll see that little asterisk under UF. So University of Florida has the priority deadline of November 1st, but they will continue to accept your application and your $35 application fee up until March. However, the average acceptance rate for students that apply after November 1st to UF goes down to about 4%. So yep, they will still take your application fee, they will still take your money and your application, but your chances of getting in go down to about 4%. So that just reiterates the importance of those priority deadlines. And then the notification plan. So you have February 25th is the announcement date. FGCU is rolling, but they will start announcing your decisions after December 1st, but you'll see FGCU, if you apply by November 1st, you will be told by December 1st. So that's really nice, really quick turnaround there. USF will begin notifying students mid-November, and then it's rolling after that, and UCF does notify on a rolling basis. So this shows the acceptance rate. So UF last year, their acceptance rate was right about 36%. That's the most competitive university in the system. And FGCU is up about 66% who was accepted. Out of 100 students, 66 on average were accepted. So look at the GPA ranges. So mid-range means the middle 50%. So 25% of people are higher than the range, 25% of people are lower. Really important to understand, these are not minimum requirements. You don't have to have these GPAs. However, they are just the averages. They are weighted and they are recalculated. So what that means is that they will weight courses the same way we do. So it's a full point weighted for dual enrollment, IB, and AP courses, and a half a point for honors courses, but it's recalculated, meaning they remove courses that are not academic in nature. So they only look at the academic core and academic electives. So they will look only at courses that are English, math, social studies, science, world language, or academic electives, things like psychology, law studies, AP art, things like that. Okay, so they will remove courses like culinary, PE courses, child development, technical design, courses like that will actually be removed. If your student looks at the weighted GPA that they have, then that's what I would encourage you just to kind of focus on. The weighted GPA is going to be very similar to what they recalculate. Mid-range SAT is the same range, so middle 50%, 25% of people higher, 25% of people lower, and then the ACT range. No writing or no essay is going to be included. SAT stopped offering the essay optional essay part anyway, or the writing, but it's not considered as part of the admissions or score process. And just as a reminder, the SAT perfect score is 1600, and the ACT perfect score is 36. So you can see definitely that the University of Florida has the highest averages for students. Letters of recommendation are not required for these 4 universities. I believe there's only 1 or 2 maybe 3 universities that require a letter of recommendation. Florida Poly does, New College of Florida, and I believe FAMU in Tallahassee require letters of recommendation. Otherwise, the universities don't even look at it, so don't send it because they won't even consider it. Academic record required. So this one offers either, or tells you either the SSAR or official high school transcript. So the SSAR stands for self-reported student academic record. If you just Google SSAR, it will take you directly to that website. And what that is it's an online account that a student will create and then enter manually, type in their entire high school academic record. So all of the courses and grades that they've taken for high school credit. Students will do this. It's not difficult, but it does take a little bit of time. So factoring into that time management piece and making sure that you are organized, and then you will link that SSAR, that academic record, into the portal for each of the colleges that require that SSAR. It sounds a little confusing right now, since, but it'll make more sense once you get into that SSAR website. Really important for you to have a copy of your transcript or academic record when you're sitting down to enter in, because it does need to match whatever is on your transcript. But they do not need or want your official high school transcript if they are requesting the SSAR. FGCU and USF both require official high school transcript, which is has a request right on the Land O'Lakes High School home webpage. You just select high school transcript, you enter in that you want the electronic and free copy of your high school transcript sent to the college. Our registrar, usually within about 24 hours, does process that request, and then it goes directly to the university that you've requested. And then UCF uses its own software called the Spark. And again, it's very similar to the SSAR, but that's what UCF wants as far as entering in your academic record and your academic history. Okay, so how to apply to a university. So if you're looking at applying, there are going to be 3 different options. So institutional application and coalition and Common App. So you pick only one, whichever one makes the most sense for you. That's step number 1, is to submit that online application. Most of the time there is an application fee involved. And if you are eligible for a fee waiver, you can talk with me to see if you are. I can help you through that process, and that will waive that college application fee. You will need to send your official test scores directly from College Board or SAT, College Board's website. So you log into your SAT or ECT account and request that your test scores be sent if you have not already set it up to automatically go. FSU and UF allow students to self-report your test scores. So you do not need to send your official score report right off the at the beginning of the application. And then the 4th piece of the puzzle is the academic record or transcript. So you'll see there's a few different options also. So the SSAR, the self-reported student academic record, or your official high school transcript from us, or if you are using the Common application, your school counselor will upload your transcript on your behalf. So there's no need to submit a request. So those are your 3 options for the academic record or transcript. And to reiterate, it's really important that all of the requirements be submitted by the deadline before your application is considered complete. So if you forget one piece of the puzzle, if you forget to pay your application fee, if you forget to send your test scores, your application is not complete and the college will not begin considering you as an applicant. So you can't wait until the night before, October 31st to send your test scores, because they may not receive it in time. So make sure that you are not procrastinating, make sure that you're working on this as early as possible in order to make sure that you are meeting those priority deadlines. All right, hopefully nobody's feeling like this. Sometimes after seeing those GPAs and test scores, I get this kind of look on our faces, where we're worried. We're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that the GPAs were so high. I didn't realize that those were the average test scores, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. So want to bring you more closer to that 1 or 2 range, maybe a 3, and definitely not a 4 or a 5 when we're checking in about how we're feeling. Because really cool, in the state of Florida, we have what's called the 2+2 articulation agreement. All 12 of the universities have at least one, if not more, community college or state college that is somewhat connected to it. There are 28 community colleges or state colleges in the Florida college system. And they tend to have these relationships or transfer programs between them. So at PHSC, if you want to transfer to USF, there's a program called FUSE. If you want to transfer to Florida State, you may want to consider attending Tallahassee Community College for TCC to FSU program. And really what that is that they can assist with that seamless transfer. So the first 60 credits, the first half of your bachelor's degree would be done at the community college. But the advisor is very, very aware and knows what the university requirements are to make sure then that you're meeting the prerequisites for the certain major that you are interested in. And then you can seamlessly transfer over for the second half of your degree to earn your bachelor's degree at the university level. There are 28 state colleges in the state of Florida college system. This is where a student would earn their AA degree. So the Associate of Arts degree are the 60 general education credits. It's very similar to year 13 and 14 of high school, where there's certain credits required in communications or English, math, science, humanities, social behavioral sciences. This is not career specific though. This is not the type of degree that then you stop and enter the workforce. This is the one that is designed to transfer to a university. So don't get it confused with the AS degree, the Associate of Science. This is Associate of Arts. Many, many, many benefits to the community college Associate of Arts degree. So it's lower tuition costs. It's about half. So when I say that it's the exact same credits, and it is half of the cost for the identical general education credits. Those 60 general ed credits have to be taken whether you are at a community college or you are at a university. It's just about half the cost when taken at the community college or state college. The class sizes are quite a bit smaller. So I would say the largest class size at PHSC would be around 40 or 50 students. And the largest, or the intro to biology class at Florida State has about 350 students. So depending on what kind of learner and student you are, you may benefit to having a smaller, more personalized experience in a smaller class size. Community colleges also have what's called an open admissions policy. So that means the only requirement in order to attend is that you are on track and then earn your high school diploma. There are no SAT or ACT scores required, no minimums, no GPA minimums. As long as you earn your high school diploma, you're guaranteed in. So this is why it may be a really great backup plan or primary plan, because some students will say, you know, I had a hiccup during 10th grade, my GPA isn't as high as it should be, or I'm not a great test taker. I'm really good in my classes and I work really hard and I'm taking challenging courses. I'm just not really good with taking exams. So therefore my test scores really aren't going to be as high as they should be or could be. So it's really a great option for students to know that they can continue on with their college degree and then earn that bachelor's degree or attend a university eventually, just maybe starting off at a community college first. The credits will transfer to all public state universities. So it is guaranteed that it will move with you. It is not, I hope so, or I think it will, it is guaranteed. It's actually written into state law because it's the exact same courses. English Comp 1, English Comp ENC 1101 is offered at PHSC and it's offered at USF. That's how they can move with you because it's the identical coursework. And then the last one is guaranteed admission to a university within the state of Florida. So it's not all of them. It may not be the one that you want, but if you earn your AA degree, you are guaranteed admission in a university within the state of Florida. So again, really like that guaranteed word, that you are guaranteed admission, and then you are guaranteed admission into a university after earning your AA degree. The application process is similar, but it's not as early. So you would submit an online application to the community college or state college that you choose and pay the application fee or use the fee waiver. You would also send your SAT scores, ACT scores, or take a college placement test called the PERT or the CPT at the state college to determine your course placement. So it's important to know you can send your SAT or ACT scores. They're not going to use it to decide if they're going to accept you or not. They're just going to use it to help recommend the appropriate courses. And then you're going to request that Land O'Lakes High School sends your official transcript to the college. Again, that's just to make sure that you are on track for graduation, that you are who you say you are, etc. I recommend that you apply by March of your senior year. So that's to ensure that you're considered for their financial aid and scholarships that they have for admitted students. The application will open sometime between November and January for next fall. So you don't have to apply yet. You know that it's open admission, so you don't have to worry about being accepted or not. If this is your backup plan, then I would definitely just wait until you know if you're going to apply or go the community college or state college route after receiving the university admission decisions. So no hurry on that. The applications aren't even open at this time. So, but definitely I try to give students a deadline by about spring break to have that completed and that decision made if they're going to go the state college route. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time anytime talking about financial aid and scholarship, but really important to attend the second seminar, going to be held on Tuesday, September 28th at 6:30. I'm going to hold it in the Commons area, again in person, and then also via Zoom. If you attend via Zoom, I'm not able to field any questions, and really you're just kind of watching it and listening to it, very similar to what you're doing with this video right now. So if you want to have that in person, we do have social distancing in place, and we have tables and stuff spread out in the Commons area. It's right about an hour, and I'm going over all of the funding options and financial aid, federal financial aid, state aid, private scholarships, and institutional scholarships, and how you get them, how to apply, how that funding your education could work. Really important. It's a lot of information. I try to get it done in right about an hour. So right now, a first semester, just to review what that roadmap to college can look like or should look like. The first semester between now and December is making sure that you have gotten organized and have your solid plan A, B, C, and D. Begin and complete your applications, submitting all of the required items that they're requesting and adhering and following those priority deadlines. Retaking SAT or ACT, you can submit a test score that you've taken in the past and continue to test sometimes into November and December. Watch the college's deadlines for testing. So you can apply to USF now and they will continue to accept updated test scores, usually up until about January. So you could take the December test date if you're still trying to earn a higher score, not only for admissions, but also for some merit-based scholarships that they may have. You want to apply for financial aid and scholarships. Scholarships are now financial aid, federal and state will be after October 1st, and I'll cover that more in depth in the second seminar. And then making sure that you are keeping your grades up. Senior year grades do matter. They will get your final transcript after you graduate, so it is still important that you are continuing to do your best. Second semester, senior year, you want to continue doing the community service and other non-classroom activities. Continue those scholarship applications. Keep working on them regularly. You want to compare financial aid award letters that will come directly from the college. That will usually begin, I would say, maybe February or March. And then really looking at where all of that money is coming from all of those different sources, and then making your final college decision by May 1st. And then, of course, the last bullet says that we graduate and enjoy the next chapter. You've worked hard and you deserve all of those successes. Here's my contact information. I do have a website. I try to keep it updated. I have a senior remind. If you were on it last year, that has been deleted and revised. So make sure you sign up for the remind. I specifically will be using it for college announcements. We do have some colleges that are starting to be able to come on campus in person or provide virtual presentations to students about their application process and such. So don't miss out on that. And then I will definitely be using it to announce out different scholarship opportunities. So you don't want to miss those. My email is the best way to reach me for specific questions. And I do have a phone, but no voicemail. So that's why I didn't include my phone number. It's just annoying if it rings and rings. So make sure you sign up for the remind and visit the website for different announcements, and email me with any specific questions that you have. I'm happy to help. A frequently asked question document has been created, and link is also on my website for questions that came through for the original presentation for this first seminar. But I am happy to help. I'm happy to continue to support you as a family and your student as they navigate this process. And I look forward to seeing you on the 28th for the scholarships and financial aid presentation seminar. Thank you.